Sir Clint here, Crimson Landscape, here to talk about your design. All right, here's what I got for you. All right, in the center here, we have those hollies. We're going to keep those hollies in place. They'll need to be trimmed up. And the way it'll work is when the team comes out to do the trimming, I'll talk to you about what your expectations are, whether you want them to trim in an A-shape format or if you want them to trim into a kind of a hedge, and kind of how much you want to take off and how clean you want the look. It's really a preference, especially with trees of that caliber. So it's time for the technician to do the trimming. So however long it takes is how long it takes. I would say for trees like that, if we're doing a thorough trim, probably 3 hours. If it's just a basic trim that we're just shaping them, probably 2 hours is probably more than enough. For plants, okay, left side here, I got the Nellie R. Stevens hollies we talked about. That's what I would go with. Evergreen, dense, great plant. They'll make a great hedgerow when they grow together. A couple sprees over here and a couple bridal sprees over here on the side. Very intentional with the plant selection. These will get big and fluffy, have a really pretty white bloom in the spring. Then over there in this corner, I went with one as well, so it ties in together. Moving along, 8 Nellie R. Stevens here in the corner. I'm sorry, along this stretch here. The spacing we have is, I believe, 6 feet on center. We measure from center to center. We can probably narrow it a little bit if you want to, or we widen it if you a little bit want to. So the way we lay it out is we say, okay, 6 feet on center according to the software. We'll lay it out 6 feet. And if there's too big of a gap over here, we'll space them all out an extra foot. So if you space 8 trees out an extra foot, you can pick up 8 feet. So if you space 8 trees out, 6 inches, you can pick up a couple feet. So I think 8's probably the number. It just depends on the final spacing. We might be able to squeeze another one over here. It just depends on you. The thing about a Nellie R. Stevens holly tree, once you buy the 30-gallon or 45 gallons, it's a bigger tree. It's not something we would just take back, meaning we're going to order the quantity we need. It's not something because it's not something we stock. I mean, look in this corner over here. You have in this corner, I dropped a couple of variegated liripe in here. If you just want some variegated liripe, if you want something to look like, if you ultimately want something a little bit fluffier, we can add a couple hydrangeas in this corner so they grow fluffy and have that bloom at a distance, a white bloom. This corner tree right here, I'm not sure how big this is supposed to be. If you want to cut it back, you want to leave it as is. So it's this corner layout. It's really, do you want a filler plant like this, or are you okay with just a couple of filler grasses? Bear in mind that this final gap here, it will not be this final gap because the tree determination will make a determination how big that gap is. So I threw those in there just as filler, so there's something there to mitigate erosion. Moving around, this is going to be Oregon Great Mahonia, dog friendly, yellow bloom. I wanted something that can be seen from the patio, that's easy to maintain, that'll do well in some sun as well as shade. Dwarf Yaupon holly shrubs right here. These shrubs, I would go with the 7 gallons, a little bit bigger, a little hardier. They'll stand the test of time with a 70-pound dog. Oh, one second. Rose Creek Abelia with a autumn sage in the corner just for a little bit of color. These are daylilies and giant liripe here. If you don't want any of this color, I price this as an option. If you just want to continue the Yaupon hollies to keep it simple, we can do that as well. I just want to give you an option of what it would look like to add a little color in the corner. Then these boulders. One thing about these boulders, let's take this boulder. Let me drop it one right here. Let's say I drop one right here as an example, right? I got one in the corner to make it soft and add one right here. If you like the boulder look mixed in with the steel edge, it's a good look. People like it. If you like the beds in this curved shape where it has a little meandering to it, or if you like it in this straight. I did the design with both so you can kind of determine which your preference is. What we can also do is if there's like a little cutout right here in the middle where you want this a little bit bigger here, and we could drop something like an ornamental grass in there, because where that grass is not growing in the front, we can make a little more shape. And I can send a couple extra ornamental grasses to kind of, I know that doesn't look perfect, but you get the gist. So it fills that space where something's not growing. Ultimately, though, you just got a determination. The more I do that, the more backyard space I take up. So there's a balance between landscaping and functional usage of the green space. Okay, show you from this angle. Then last bit of it, I'll go right here. This is a simple corner. I wanted a hydrangea, a couple hostas, and Amarillo sedge. I want something that's pretty, lots of color in spring and summer, easy to maintain, does well in Texas. These are going to die back in winter. It won't look that great in winter, but it's winter. It's not side of your house that's real visible. But for spring and summer, I go with that pretty bloom. All right, sir, let me pause here and send you this video. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.